Welcome to Doris Visits. In this film, a little bit of fun. Keep your eyes peeled. How many outfits does Jean wear? And how many cruise ships do you see and name them?
Welcome to Lisbon. There are two ships berthed in the new cruise terminal today, the Azamara Quest and the Spirit Adventure. And we've just walked a higgledy-piggledy route up the back streets to this fantastic vantage point. It took us about 10 minutes. The main thing St George's Castle offers are the stunning views of Lisbon all around in a complete circle of Lisbon and the sea.
But there is another way you could get to the top of the hill.
So that's Joseph I, and he was the king at the time of the earthquake in 1755. To find the traditional side of Lisbon, all you have to do is walk left from the ship along, turn right through the square, you'll find the cathedral and all the sights. But if you want the trendy side of Lisbon, keep on walking, you'll find some old shacks, and behind them you'll find the Time Out building. And it's so worth a visit. This place is really rocking, and no matter what your taste in food or drink, you are going to definitely find it here. There's everything.
You might want to leave this for lunchtime. And as Lisbon is built on 7 hills, the big thing is to plan what you're going to see first and being near the ship towards the end of the day.
The easiest way to explore Lisbon is to turn left from the ship, walk along the coastal road towards Commercial Square. You'll know it because of the huge statue of King Jose mounted on his horse in the middle. We're going to purchase a ticket from a metro to explore the city. Bus Metro daily ticket. This ticket supposedly gets you on metros, lifts, funiculars and trams. Let's see if it works.
Oh, the ticket works. And you can jump on any tram, anytime.
So the elevator would have been £5.50, the tram would have been £3.70. That's apart from the train and the tram, so it's well worth buying one of these tickets. Lisbon is built on at least 7 hills, and the view from the top of the funicular is opposite the view from the top of the castle. At the top of the funicular is also the Church of San Roque, which is probably on your list of things to see. It has a beautiful ceiling and a museum which has a very clean toilet.
The funicular for this hill is in Rossio Square, which is often where the shuttle buses will drop you. But you can walk there. It's about 6 blocks back from Commercial Square. And Rossio Square transforms itself at Christmas. It becomes the place of one of their big Christmas markets.
Merry Christmas! We're at Rossio Christmas Market in Lisbon.
Oh look, they've turned the fountain off for Christmas. Let's switch that back on.
We're going to take a free walking tour like we did in Copenhagen if you've seen our film.
Rossio Square, the place to pick up the free walking tours, is a great meeting place. You'll also find the Sardine shop. Now I've never really got this Portuguese sardine shop idea, but we even found one in Porto. Have you seen our film on Porto? Please subscribe to Doris Visits and see all our port guides.
If you like sardines, this is a shop for you. You can buy sardines with your date of birth on them or your name on them. It's amazing. If only I liked sardines.
Let's start the day with a custard tart and a coffee. And an adventure. Let's go somewhere out of town and get back for lunchtime when Lisbon's really waking up. Where are we going to go?
If you wanted to venture to the Palace of Queluz or anywhere further afield, the station is in the square where the shuttle bus often drops you off.
You could buy your all-day metro and tram ticket down at the Port metro station and ride up to Rossio.
Wow, thank you very much.
Thank you. So I bought 2 tickets for Queluz, and you knew what I was talking about.
The line is to Sintra, which is actually another palace. So what do we do when we get off at Queluz?
After you come through the ticket barrier, you turn right and take that exit. Come down the escalator and you'll see a signpost for the palace.
You can visit Queluz first thing and be back in Lisbon by lunchtime. We have a more extensive video on how to get there and the palace on Doris Visits. Please subscribe to the channel.
So we've arrived at the palace. It's just one straight road down and it's an 18-minute walk after the 18 minutes on the train. Not far.
Quick tip, in the ticket area, use the machine to purchase your ticket. It's much quicker.
The throne room, also known as the Great Room, was designed by French artist Jean-Baptiste de Robillon and dates back to 1774. It's Rococo style.
And when we got to Rio in Brazil, all this started to make sense because this family left this palace to go and conquer Brazil. And the huge Christ the Redeemer statue on the mount was in fact going to be a statue of this lady. It was to represent the end of slavery. And she went, no, not me. It should be of Christ, the freer of slaves.
It looks like the restoration work is absolutely non-stop.
With cruises no longer going to Russia and St Petersburg, this is one of the best palaces you can see. And it's original, whereas the ones in St Petersburg were reproductions.
This room was built between 1754 and 1762. It's the room of columns, the evening music room. The ceiling in the ambassador's room is one of the most unique works of art. It depicts the royal family attending a music session. This painting is a copy, and if you look at the character dressed in black, you will see he is wearing a pair of 20th century glasses, and no one knows why. The palace wing, the pavilion of Donna Maria, is now used as a guest house for visiting foreign heads of state. Not to be missed, the tiled ceramic canal. It's decorated with 18th century scenes, and the royal family often used to take a boat down here on sunny afternoons to enjoy themselves. Many of the statues in the gardens were imported from Italy, but these lead statues were commissioned by John Cheer, the British sculptor. Some more of John Cheer's work, and there's Neptune, god of the sea.
Here's another god of the sea, another Neptune, the Viking Neptune. And it's a great ship. We have a full ship tour on Doris Visits. But let's get back to Lisbon and hit St George's Hill.
The best way to get a flavour of Lisbon is to jump on and off a tram. The 28E seems to be the favourite with tourists, but make sure you get to the back because the locals will need to get on and off.
That full tram ride is a separate film on Doris Visits, but with the tram there's no commentary. You don't find things out. You will on a walking tour or with the Segway. So this is how we discovered about the church.
After the earthquake destroyed
The Patriarchal Cathedral of St Mary Major, or Lisbon Cathedral, is known by the people simply as the Say Cathedral. All the bodies of the most famous people are buried in here, including Eusébio, the famous footballer. We're on our way to the castle, and this is the statue of St Vincent in one of the main viewpoints of the town. This is St George's Castle. It's on a hill. It was built originally for defence. There are 10 towers and massive walkways that visitors can walk around, and there are also peacocks roaming in the grounds. This guy lived in the castle in the palace period. It's D. Manuel I. This part of the ruins is the Iron Age, and then over there is the Moorish quarter, and then over there is the palace. Look at the peacocks. Please, can we see your feathers? Can we see your feathers? Wow, so beautiful. There are a number of displays of pottery, so we can imagine the everyday life of the people that lived in the castle. We found this amazing restaurant. It's in Santa Cruz Castle walls. It's built like a tram and it's called 28. It's worth a visit.
Have the tram, the evolution of the tram 28. The first one was pulled by horses, and here you have the first month of buses. It's 1926. The whole hand for the original from the tram 28.
So these handles are original from Tram 28. If you're coming to stay here, look for a place like this in a tiny little street near the castle, the Casas del Medina. And there are lots of beautiful little cafes and restaurants everywhere on these cobbled streets. We found the lift. It's just down the hill from St George's Castle. To get the lift up, you have to go into the Pindo Doce supermarket.
The lift's a very useful tip, but walking down through the alleys is fun because the people are friendly, and for a couple of euros, they'll share a port tasting with you. The buildings all over Portugal are wonderful.
This beautiful building is City Hall, and you can't take pictures. I said you can't take pictures. So this is Eduardo, and he's just taken us on a Segway tour. Eduardo, how do we find you on the internet?
Just check for Lisbon by Segway. We have Segway Tour. We have bicycles, electric bicycles. The go-kart, this small car, very interesting also.
Looks good.
You can drive.
Thank you very much.
Still counting ships?
Lisbon is a port you'll come to over and over again as a cruiser because it's on the way to just about everywhere. We're making our own walking tour via the map we were given. So this is the Merman. It's actually number 3 on the map, but you have to look up because I actually walked past without noticing it. It's in Praça del Sol. If you carry on along Princes Street, past the Merman statue, along Ersatz Street, keep going, and then turn right at the escalators and the statue of the fisherman, then you turn right at the horse statue, you're practically at the park. Great view of the harbour. This would have been a fantastic fortress. You can see for miles.
So if you were counting ships, you probably saw a few in there. The Azamara Quest, Spirit of Adventure, Viking Neptune, Queen Victoria, Azura, Crystal Symphony, and the Ventura. And there was a little yacht in there which I couldn't name. And Jean was wearing 7 outfits.